Today marking the completion of a project to make it easier to walk from downtown to the riverfront.
Affectionately named the Baby Bob, the footbridge starts at 10th Street near Charles Schwab Field and ends at the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge. The path allows people to safely walk above the railroad tracks and cuts out about 3/4 of a mile of walking.
I think it's critically important that we have outdoor trails and we have places where families can go, get some good, wholesome recreation and some opportunity to be outside, put the phones down, turn the television off, get outside, enjoy the great areas that we have for families to be able to come together.
The bridge was originally supposed to open last October. The $7.5 million project was funded by federal and city governments and private donors. I feel like I need to get Baby Bob like a gift or something, don't you?
Yeah.
But one of the world's leading social media companies is now paying some of its users. Inside the details in the massive lawsuit.
And a closer look